In this video, we will be solving equations with variables on both sides. So let's do a little bit of review. So if we have negative 3x minus 8 equals 16, we should remember that we want to add 8 first to both sides. After that happens, the 8 cancels out. We get negative 3x equals 24, and then we divide both sides by negative 3, giving us x equals negative 8. If we have x over 2 plus 5 equals 25, we subtract 5 from both sides. The 5 cancels out. We get x over 2 equals 20, and then from here, we want to multiply both sides by 2. We'll multiply this side by 2. We'll multiply this side by 2. Those cancel out, and we get x equals 40. And so look at the equations below. We have 3 different ones. You should notice something that is different about these ones than the ones that we've been doing. And so what you should notice is that all of these equations, they have variables on both sides of the equation this time, not just on one side. They have variables on both sides. For example, we have this 2x on the left side, and we also have 4x on the right side. For this one, we have negative 3x on the left side, 5x on the right side. Negative 7x on the left, 13x on the right. And so we want to know, when we have variables on both sides, how do we get the variable x on one side for the answer? So we want to notice the difference when we have variables on both sides or variables on the same side. And so, for example, here we have 2x and 4x on the same side of the equal sign. When they're on the same side of the equal sign like that, we just combine them like normal. So the 2x and 4x would combine to 6x plus 4 equals 10. But if they're on opposite sides like this, right, the 2x is on the left side of the equal sign, the 4x is on the right side of the equal sign, we have to do something else. We have to subtract the entire 2x term from both sides. And we have to make sure that we write this minus 2x under the 4x term on the right side, because we're going to subtract this from here. So we're not going to write it under the 8, we're going to write it under the 4x. These are going to cancel, bring down the 4. 4x minus 2x is 2x. We bring down the plus 8, and then we solve from there. We'll do a couple examples below, but just make sure we know the difference, that when they're on the same side, we can just combine them like normal. When they're on opposite sides, that's when we have to subtract that term to get it to the other side. So if we have 2x plus 4 equals 4x plus 8, like we did before, our first step is we want to subtract 2x from both sides. And so, like I said, we write the subtract 2x under this 4x, not under the 8, because these are the like terms. So these go away. Bring down the 4 equals 4x minus 2x is 2x plus 8. From here, we subtract 8 both sides. These end up canceling out. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Bring down the 2x, divide both sides by 2, and we get x equals negative 2. Once again, we have variables on both sides. We usually want to start by getting rid of one of the x terms. So here we have a negative 3x, so a possible first step that we can do to both sides is we're going to add the 3x term to both sides. We're going to add 3x because when we add 3x, it's going to make this part go to 0. And so this part we can cross out. Bring down the negative 8. We write the 3x under the 5x, not under the negative 24, because we're combining these ones. Bring down the negative 8. Negative 8 equals 5x plus 3x is 8x minus 24. Add 24 to both sides. 16 equals 8x. Divide by 8. We get 2 equals x. So note how on these two problems, the problem on the left, we do have this 2x and 4x. These are on the same side this time. So remember, when they're on the same side like this, we just combine them like we normally would. 2x plus 4x is 6x plus 4 equals 10. Now we do opposite operations, right? So we did not subtract this 2x and 4x because they're on the same side. We just combine this to get 6x plus 4 equals 10. Subtract 4 both sides. We get 6x equals 6. Divide 6, giving us x equals 1. Lastly, now we have variables on both sides. So remember, we do want to do the opposite of one of those variables to bring that negative 7x term to 0. So we're going to add 7x. And when you add 7x to both sides, make sure we write it under this one. And we write it under the 13x because that's what we can combine it with. These end up crossing out. Bring down the 5. 13x plus 7x is 20x. Add 55 both sides. Divide by 20. And we get x equals 3. Thank you for listening.